David Allison reporting there. Now joining me is Joe Sharaga from the US Environmental Protection Agency. Good afternoon to you. It's lovely to see you. Now can you tell me, first of all, what can Glasgow give the US? This is global eyes on this city for what they're trying to do here.
What is occurring here with the Sustainable Glasgow Initiative is making the city of Glasgow a world leader in sustainable urban living. What the city of Glasgow is already doing is bold, it's ambitious, but it's doable. And we are already learning from the experiences of the people here in Glasgow who are involved in the Sustainable Glasgow Initiative. And we really see what is being done here as a model for what cities in the United States and around the world could be doing in the future.
As we saw, David, talking to members of the public there, had difficulty getting them to understand what this all means. What does it mean? What is a sustainable city?
A sustainable city is a city that, in fact, achieves outcomes that the person on the street really cares about. Ultimately, it's about protecting human health and the environment, for example. It's about protecting the quality of the air that we breathe, and our children breathe, and our grandchildren will breathe. The quality of the water that we drink, how we deal with waste and wastewater. But it's also about creating jobs. It's about bringing investment and new businesses into Glasgow and cities like Glasgow. It's about using energy and producing energy more efficiently, which has implications for what people pay for the energy. And it also has implications for global problems, such as dealing with the daunting problem of climate change. What is exciting about the way the Sustainable Glasgow Initiative is approaching this is that they're dealing with it in a holistic manner, so that they're essentially completely changing the way city planners around the world should be thinking about development. So that through every action that they take, they've got a vision for the future, where they want to get to, and they will achieve multiple benefits, both in terms of protecting human health and the environment, the things that people care about on the street, as well as economic development, again, producing jobs and new opportunities for the citizens of Glasgow.
Now, David was talking about the Commonwealth Games and the new buildings that are going to be built, but obviously there's a huge infrastructure already in Glasgow, a lot of ancient tenements, properties that would be very hard to bring up to the standard. Does it take into account that?
Well, I'm not the right person to ask about the details of the strategy, but as was articulated today at the landmark event they had to launch the Sustainable Glasgow Initiative, everyone recognizes that this is an ongoing process. This is changing the way planners think about developing the city over time. What's exciting is that the city now has a vision for what it wants Glasgow to look like in the future, a viable, dynamic, energetic city, and in fact an environment that will be a happening place for people around the world to want to come to.
So what will you take away from today then?
Opportunity, lots of opportunities. In fact, we are already in discussions, for example, with the University of Strathclyde about ways that we can partner with them to share expertise and information, because we share the philosophy about how to develop sustainable communities. We're going to develop toolkits using your experiences here in Glasgow that can be shared with mayors and city planners in cities all around the world to help them also build sustainable communities in the same way that you are.
And some of these words are maybe quite difficult for us to understand, things like sustainable, it's difficult.
Yep.
This toolkit, what would be in a toolkit?
A toolkit would, well, what we are hearing a lot from people on the ground, such as water quality managers or air quality managers in the cities that we live in, is they get it. They understand that they have to deal with things like climate change, which will affect their ability to protect the air that we breathe and the water that we drink. But we keep hearing from them, okay, but how do we actually operationalize this? How do we incorporate it into our day-to-day operations? So again, working with the University of Strathclyde, as well as other partners in the U.S. and around the world, we're developing practical tools that can be put into the hands of those resource managers, those decision makers, that will make it easy for them on a day-to-day basis to try to get to all of these environmental and economic outcomes in a smart way. ultimately it's all about growing in a smart way.
Okay, well maybe we're set to become a Dear Green Place once again. Joe Shiraga, thank you so much
My
indeed
pleasure.
for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.